Good morning, guys. How are you today?
Very good, thank you. I am great too. A bit nervous.
No, just relax because always remember that the more relaxed you are, the better you will always speak. You will always perform. Anyway, let me introduce myself. My name's Chris, and I will be your Anglia speaking assessor for the Business 3 level exam. Okay. I have already checked your ID cards, so I don't need to do that again. But what I do need you to still do for me is confirm your full names, please. Gabriel, could you please confirm your full name for me?
Yes, I am Gabriel Acevedo Rodriguez.
Okay, and just for your information, Gabriel, just for your information, you don't need to remember any of it. Your candidate number is 83848. Okay?
Yes.
Good. And how about yourself, Jose? Could you please confirm your full name for me?
My full name is Jose Gabriel González Mendel.
Okay, and Jose, your candidate number, which again you don't have to remember, is 83849. Okay?
Okay, perfect.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much. Okay, dokes now. Let's get started. Okay, now let me just open the grid I will need to be using myself. It's here. Okay, now Jose, I'll start off with you this time. How long have you been learning English?
I've been learning English since I have years of memory. Maybe not at the same intensity or level, but since I was in the school, I have been learning English, and I have found it's a door to open to a new language and to a new way of thinking and a great opportunity for my future.
How do you think that knowing English this much, this big amount of English can actually help you very tangibly and concretely in the future, in the near future?
Well, I think that nowadays we are living in a very competitive society, more due to globalization, and English is the global language, and we need to form ourselves as much as we could to compete in that world. And I think that the English is the key door for that, although there are many other options, for example, this kind of certification that will help us to have a better future or to be more prepared.
Okay, thank you for that. Last year you did the Anglia Side exam with me, and I'm very happy to say that you both passed it. And now you're doing a completely different exam in terms of content. You're doing a business English exam. And why is that the case?
Well, personally, I consider that it is really interesting to do this kind of exam to work in any company that helps you to develop many other activities, or maybe combining those two different certifications to form people in that company, and for example, doing some activity and form them in English and not in Spanish, for example, and that will make us better actives for the company we will be working with.
Indeed, absolutely. I couldn't agree more with you. Give me, please, Jose, give me a short description of your working day.
I haven't worked since in that I'm currently studying. I sometimes have helped people with the language or give some small classes, but not as a worker, more as a friend or peace learning.
Don't worry. Imagine your typical working day in, say, 5 years' time from now, and talk me through that ideal working day, please.
Well, I will consider my ideal working day that arriving to the office and setting up my mind to be at work and to create a disconnection between my personal life and my work life, to have a healthy connection with the work, and to be able to concentrate and do a healthy work in a healthy environment where I could develop my activity, being having a good relation with my peers or teammates in that work. And that's maybe it. I consider that being in a place where you have a great relation with the people you're around and there's a great environment that motivates you to work will be the best case scenario. And it's something, sometimes it's difficult to find something like that, but it's what I will hope to achieve in my near future.
Absolutely, and good luck with that. Gabriel, could you please ask Jose a question
Uh,
whose answer you're interested in knowing, in finding out?
what kind of job are you planning to work in?
Well, I'm currently studying psychology, so I will like thinking on a company to work in human resources department, or maybe if I'm in my own consult, I will like to have things, as I said, organized, and to have my work day clear in my mind, and to be able to be productive that day.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much, Jose. Thank you. Now, Gabriel, why are you taking this exam today?
I guess I am taking it because I want to have more volume in my curriculum. And I think that this will grant me future opportunities because it will open doors, as Gabriel said before. Uh, and I think that it will be very useful in cases where I have to maybe give some lessons in the proper business that I will be working to other companions too.
Okay, thank you for that. What would you like to achieve in the next 10 years yourself?
Uh, I hope I find a job that is very difficult nowadays. But in the ideal situation, I would like to be in a team environment where I can work with some colleagues, create, in my case, video games because that is my objective in the future. So I would like to be in a place with a creative environment. Nothing more, really. I
Why,
think that
what,
very simple.
why, thank you. Why would you say, Gabriel, that working as part of a team is so important to you?
Uh, I I think that because I say that because I think that working in a team is something really useful. It makes the work funnier, more easier, and many times having someone where you can rely helps you to improve your own confidence.
You know how it goes? Sometimes people say that there's no, oh, well, actually, there's no I in the word team. Is that a big true in your opinion? Is that a big true?
Uh, I don't agree with that. I think that there is an I, because even if you are in a team, competitiveness in a regular basis is always useful and make everyone work better. Sometimes you can compete with your friend to see who finish the work faster and better, and that will bring benefits to the environment and to the company.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, Jose, can you please ask Gabriel a question?
As you mentioned, teamwork, would you prefer to work from home, maybe in Zoom using some app, or to work in an office with your team?
If I am working in a team, I think that it is better to work in an office. I always think that work face to face with the people that you are going to rely on is something important. But I am not against the idea of working remotely. I think that it has advantages too.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, that is the end of task one. Let's now move on to the second task, shall we? Now, for the second task, you have had to choose a topic beforehand and prepare a presentation in whichever manner you saw fittest. Okay, I'll start off with you this time, Gabriel. What will you be preparing, or what will you be presenting rather? What will you be talking about?
I am going to talk about how business can be both profitable and environmentally friendly.
Okay, and in which manner are you going to present that? Are you going to use a PPT? Are you going to use slides? Are you going to use cue cards?
I have a flashcard with visual aid,
Okay.
that I will show to you when I get to that point.
Okay.
But
Have you got that in electronic format or have you got that printed out?
I have it printed out.
Okay, no worries.
I send it in email to our teacher, so I don't know if there is in a way to get it here, but I think that that would be it would take us time to figure
Don't
it out.
worry. Don't worry. As long as I can see it myself, if you show it to me, then that's fine. Okay. Are you ready? I'll give you about 5 minutes, just about 5 minutes, so that you can present on what you have prepared, and then we'll ask you some follow-up questions. Okay.
Okay.
Excellent. So the floor is yours.
Nowadays, many companies has going. Sorry. Many companies has begun to go into the environmentally friendly business, trying to make themselves show to the people that they are eco-friendly and helpful to the environment in in our society that is mostly sorry that our society that is having an increase in the concern about these kind of things. So many have showed that this isn't profitable, but I don't think so. And there are many research that shows that this isn't true. Companies that invest in energy management, waste reduction, and circular economy usually have greater cost savings and a better revenue.
And why would you say that is so?
They have better revenue because I was going to tell you that next. While there is a waste reduction, that means that you don't have to manage this waste. You don't have to transport it or finding a way to avoid contaminating the environment. As the supply chain has less expenses, the input costs are reducing too. So we could say that the companies that focus on this kind of eco-friendly manner ways are usually very profitable, even if people think that it's not. Even I must say that it's true that for beginning with it, you must have a great investment. Initial investment must be made because because if you want to change your company, you always have to begin. For example, if you are if if your company is creating a lot of waste and you want to, for example, create a circular economy in your own business, you will need to change that to make use, reuse, recycle, and make again, so you can avoid these problems. This also helps you to you can reuse, so you won't have to buy anything more. You will have the materials that you didn't use before, but you need the machines to make them useful again.
What would let me, Gabriel, stop you there and ask a question. What would be the title of your presentation if you had to give it a title?
I would say that it is, as I said before, was how can a business be both profitable and environmentally friendly?
Which one, in your opinion, Gabriel, which one, in your opinion, is more important, being profitable or the other one?
From my point of view, it is
Yeah.
more important to be environmentally friendly because it is our planet where we live. But if I take the point of view of a businessman or someone that is investing on those, profitability is something really important because if it isn't profitable, why should I invest in it? There are many problems there. For example, greenwashing that makes this movement of eco-friendly business have less seems to be less trustworthy, or it is seen as a public relations move to improve your business products.
Would you, Gabriel, say that most businesses on your island or on the island where you live are more profitable than environmentally friendly, more environmentally friendly than profitable, or do they have the best of both worlds? What would you say?
In general, it has been shown in recent research. For example, in 2 decades, we have this visual that compares the global 100 sustainable companies against others. And I don't know if you can see.
Yes, I can indeed. Thank you very much. Yes, I can. Of course, 2 decades
we can
of
see
global
that
100 versus benchmark. Yeah, it's very clear.
we can see that the ones that are more sustainable are having a greater profitability than the others, or at least than the benchmark. So we could say that yes, the ones that are trying to increase the both ways are usually having better better feature
Okay.
and better profitability.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me just stop you there because, time is running against us, unfortunately. And Jose, could you please ask Gabriel a question on the topic he has presented?
Do you consider a small business can compete and be environmentally friendly as a big company could do, for example?
From my point of view, a small business can have it easier because they don't have to change the whole area or the whole company they have. So, and their initial investment, as I said before, would be lesser than a big company. So I think that is one of the main advantages they have against big companies. And if they begin to grow, they will have it easier to increase these kind of methods too.
And Gabriel, in order for a business, for a company to be environmentally friendly, which 3 aspects should they always prioritize, in your opinion, at least?
First of all, I think that they should recycle if they are able to, because this depends on what product they made. They have to control how, for example, if they have factories, what is the pollution that they are creating and ways to solve or reduce it. And the last one I would say that is helping their own employees to have environmentally friendly transport. For example, promoting the use of bicycles if it is possible, or even creating some kind of electric buses that can make use of it.
Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Over to you now, Jose. Which one will you be presenting on?
I will talk about digital marketing.
Okay, digital marketing. Okay, and do you have a slide? Do you have a drawing? Do you have an image?
I have a slide in press as well. I have a presentation that basically has the same information, but as Gabriel said, it will be spending a lot of time right now to send it over to you. So if that works.
That's absolutely fine. You have it printed out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, as you talk through it, you can show us the slides, please. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, the floor is yours.
Okay. Digitalization of the business is here to stay, and digital marketing is a game changer nowadays. One of the points in favor of digital marketing is that it's really cost efficient and it's available for everyone. Here, there's a graph on the cost of reaching 2,000 audience between comparing traditional marketing versus digital marketing.
Okay, yeah.
We can see here, for example, one of the points, direct mail is very expensive and it's a traditional marketing method. And for example, nowadays you can do some social networking strategy for less than 100 euros. I think that's a great opportunity for smaller business to create a brand and having a brand name, be branding out. Thing that wasn't able, for example, the traditional marketing ways. Nowadays, you can, with low budget, sponsor your products in social media in many ways that before were impossible. To make a sponsor, for example, in the TV is very, very expensive. And it's not easy to check if it is reaching the audience target, which is another advantage of the digital marketing. You can focus on your specific public, for example, by working with some kind of certain influencers to focus on a public, or by choosing with algorithms, etc. There are many other advantages that digital marketing has. For example, it's fast and efficient from brand building, as I said before. And nowadays that the attention span is being reduced in many digital vertical content platforms such as Instagram Reels or TikTok. It helps.
Why would you say that these days people's concentration span is actually a lot less than what it used to be?
Well, many studies have shown that social media and having something so fast and having, for example, in TikTok, you see content and some studies have shown up that people concentrate for 8 seconds or less, and then they lose attention. If you don't catch people's attention very fast, they will lose the interest. And
in your opinion, do you think that's a positive thing? That's a negative thing? That's something that has changed just completely into something different for the better or for the worse?
For society, I don't consider it to be an advantage necessarily, but for digital marketing, it totally is. It is at the disadvantage for traditional one, because nowadays less people watch the TV, for example, and when you have some advertisement, you just go to your phone and look Twitter or Instagram. But for example, if you are watching a video on YouTube, you have to watch that advertisement, and many times you wait for it, and it catches your attention better because you are also more interested in the content you're going to see, because you have specifically searched for that content.
Would you also say that it's a pity, or is it that it is something good that a lot less people these days watch television?
I don't consider it a pity. I consider it a chance. But it has some risk. For example, in social media, many of the people that is publishing content, they are individual persons, influencers, YouTubers, and they can make really big mistakes or not being a good role model, which I consider in the traditional TV or films is more controlled by it, and it also can affect your brand. For example, imagine you sponsor an influencer, and then it becomes involved in a public scandal that can affect your brand. Also, you are relying on a person, not in a big company. For example, in TV, you are paying a big company, but the information that can be exposed to the public before it needs. You can, for example, you are going to launch a product, you try to sponsor with some influencers, and they say something before time, and that's a risk that you have to take too.
And if you, Jose, were just about to start a new business yourself, how would you advertise that new business of yours? Digitally, or would you go the more traditional way?
Digitally, definitely. I think that in a low budget company, for example, the traditional way to sponsor is through paper, and that's something that newspaper nowadays are not used. I consider that, for example, in Instagram or by publishing content yourself, you don't even have to pay to anyone. You can let the people, get the product and expand that by the talking way. I have seen someone that is sponsoring and sorry, the usual way via talking, but I consider it's very more efficient to do digital marketing and it's budget affordable for everyone, even from big companies that can spend more and for small brands that want to take a piece of that world, of that space of the market.
Thank you. Thank you. Gabriel, can you ask Jose a question on his topic of presentation, please?
As you said before, that you would begin your business in a digital way, or at least in a using digital marketing. But do you think that it is easy for a small business to insert itself into the global market?
Well, to compete in the global market is very difficult, but it will be easier doing digital marketing than doing traditional one because, as I said, traditional companies that sponsor themselves on traditional marketing are very big companies barely competing. For example, some companies in USA pays to the Super Bowl, or here in Europe during the Champions League to have the sponsors in there. That is very, very expensive. I don't consider a small company can compete in that way, but for example, to aiming their product to a specific public in Instagram, for example, which is trackable, it's easier for them to reach the public, the specific public.
Thank you very much. Okay, that was the end of the second task. And now let's move on to the third and last task of a speaking test now, shall we? For which I will be sharing the screen with you now. Can you see task 3 on the screen now, guys?
Yes.
Okay, now, for the third task, I'll give you about 30 seconds to read through this list of topics, and then I'll ask you to choose one topic each, okay? So take about 30 seconds, read through the list, and when time's up, I'll ask you which one your topic will be, okay?
Okay, perfect.
Okay, guys, are you ready?
Yeah.
So, Jose, I'll start off with you this time. Which one would you like to talk about yourself?
I would like to talk about should companies have a dress code for the employees.
Okay, and how about yourself, Gabriel?
What are the advantages and disadvantages of a company's employees working from home?
Excellent. Okay, so Jose, I'll start off with you now. So talk about it for about 2 or 3 minutes, okay? And then we'll ask you some questions, please.
Okay, I think it's a very controversial topic, but it depends on, at least from my view, depends on the company. For example, I don't imagine a lawyer that it's not in a suit. So I consider that in some jobs it's normal that employees have a dress code. For example, the waiters have to have any kind of dress code to be differentiated from other customers or some other people or even if the brand name is on the clothes. But I consider that it's really important that companies are flexible. For example, in airports, there should be given either a unisex uniform or 2 options and let the people decide and be a bit flexible with that, because I consider that it's not fair that you push men or either women to have an uniform. And for example, a woman that can't put trousers on and have to go with a skirt, I don't think that's fair. So I consider that companies can have a dress code if it is regulated and understandable, or for example, with some other stuff. As a psychology student, I have known and studied that the halo effect is really important. And for example, if a person is not well dressed for example, in a lawyer is not well dressed, it will affect the youth's opinion on in other work that is face to the public. If you don't have the great manners or not the suitable clothes, it will make an impact in the company, and it can reduce the earnings of the company, because many people won't go to a restaurant where the waiter seems to be not well dressed or giving a bad image.
Okay. Gabriel, I have a question for you on that topic as well. How important is it to be wear or to have to, or how important is it to wear a tie these days?
Yeah, I think that it depends on where you are working. The environment where that you want to have in the place of work is something important. If so, I would say that uh, uh, I would say that people should have some this dress code, and then that can include the tie. So in places where they have to show efficiency, show uh, uh, and to
Formality?
show a team environment.
Okay, could you please define in your own terms important, because you said an important place, in an important place. What would be the meaning of important in your context?
And I was going to say that as important places where people usually take in general more seriously. For example, an office where everyone have to wear a white shirt and a black pants. They should you they usually want to show some. They want to show the union of the team, and that they are all part of the same group, but to boost the productivity, for example.
Okay.
Hmm?
Yes, go on then. I'm sorry. Go on.
Hmm?
Go on.
Could
Yes.
you-
Of course, you can continue.
Well, for example, another important place could be when you have to go to the airplane. You want to see the people working there, and don't confuse them with another kind of people. For example, a person that is just passing by.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. And Jose, one question for you. Do you think that male primary school teachers should wear a tie when teaching young kids? Should they not? Why? Why not?
I don't really know what to say. I think I consider that they should wear a formal clothing, but I don't really know exactly if they need to wear a tie. I think it will depend on the clothes that they are using. I don't consider that in schools that there is not a uniform established, for example, for teachers, they should have a specific dress code. For example, being formal, it's okay as a dress code, but not like you have to wear a tie and a jacket. Like, for example, in summer, I don't consider a teacher necessarily needs to be wearing a tie or a jacket or a very specific dress code or clothes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, Gabriel, what are the advantages and disadvantages of a company's employees working from home, in your opinion?
I would say that the main advantages are that the employees have total management of their own time, so they can work freely without any pressure. And the proper company and the company would have cost savings because they won't need the same amount of space that they usually need. For example, you don't need to build an office building because you can have your workers working from their own home. But there are disadvantages too. For example, in your own home, you always have your distractions that you wouldn't have if you were working in an office. For example, you have access to your TV, or your own computer can have games or access to the internet and go into watch some video on internet, making you don't have the same attention that you would have in an office. Another great problem that this kind of work have, that the one that I have mentioned before in the system, was that working in a team is easier when you have the team members around you. If you are working remotely, you will have problems to communicate or to set to know how all the others are delivered. Where are they in the work that you are doing together?
Thank you,
will have,
thank you.
and you can be
And
isolated.
thank you. Jose, would you say that the work done by people working from home is more or less productive than the work done by people working from an office, for example, in your opinion, again?
I said before many times, it depends. I consider it depends on if the person, there are persons that are, it's not correct to say made for work from home, but some people experience more anxiety and works better being in an office, but some others will be optimizing their time and working maybe faster to have some free times. For example, if there are parents, they would maybe prefer to work faster or in a more efficient way to have some time or some minutes to be spent with the family. So I consider it depends on the situation of each person, but most people that work from home optimize their time better and usually are more efficient.
Okay, guys, that will be the end of the test. You're free to go now and enjoy the rest of the week and hopefully the weekend as well. It's been lovely to see you again, and hopefully there will be a next time. Bye-bye then. Take care.
Thanks. Bye bye. Have a nice
No
day.
worries. Thank you.